So you are from Health Magazine.
That's right.
And so you are talking about the foods that we should eat while we're at the mall, because we're all going to be going to the mall soon for some holiday shopping. And so you already did the countdown on the early show, and your number one thing was the salmon. Why do you like that so much?
Well, we love the Asian grilled salmon. That's from P.F. Chang's China Bistro because, it's tough to find something like salmon at the mall, which we know is packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which help to reduce inflammation, improve memory, boost heart health, all that good stuff. And you can get it with brown rice. I think you can get pretty much anything with brown rice at P.F. Chang's. So that's a good thing to know. You can always sub out the white rice for the brown rice. But it is relatively high in calories, so we do suggest splitting that with a friend. And it's just a really great, tasty, healthy option. And then our number 2 choice was from Starbucks, because even if there's not a Starbucks actually in the mall that you're shopping at, there's usually one sort of next to it, kind of adjacent to it, and they have these really great plates. They have a breakfast one. I think they might have like a lunchtime one, but this is called their artisan snack plate, and it has hummus and chicken and pita and some veggies. And for me, it's kind of the perfect thing. You get so ravenous when you're shopping. Do you?
Absolutely, and I've actually had that thing from Starbucks, and it's really good. Have you?
Yeah, it's great, and it keeps you really full because it has 5 grams of fiber in it, and it's also packed with resistant starch from the garbanzo beans and the hummus.
And I was actually surprised because it's 250 calories, that you get a lot of food, and it's not that many calories.
It's so funny because Chris Raggy said, this isn't much food. So I think it depends on your it depends on your perspective.
I thought it was a lot of food.
I know. For you or for me, it's the perfect size. Yeah.
Well, I know that here in New York City, a lot of the chains, they have to list the calorie counts.
Right.
I mean, that's not, true in other states, but if you go to those places in the mall and you ask for the calorie counts, will they give them to you?
Usually they have a brochure or something like, can we just bring this up a little?
Sorry.
A brochure or something like that does list the calorie and fat information. Also, it's always smart to know before you go, so you can always check out these places online. They all list their information online, so you can kind of you know which mall you're going to. You can check out which restaurants are there, and then kind of do your homework beforehand.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
I will promise that I will hold it right here.
No problem.
So you don't have to go bend down. So tell me about some of the other stuff that you think is really healthy that you can find at the mall.
So Subway has this great Veggie Delight sandwich, and it's only 330 calories. That is with the light mayo and a slice of Swiss. And that's great. I mean, if you're vegan, you could get it without the cheese. And that's probably one of the only vegan options you can find at the mall. And it's made with whole grain bread, and it has 6 grams of fiber, 5 or 6 grams of fiber on it. And it's just a perfect thing to get you between lunch and dinner, or, whenever you're shopping. Mm-hmm. Although people are shopping online these days. I wonder what they're snacking on when they're shopping online.
Well, hopefully their kitchens are healthier than most mall food. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so say that people, they don't have the list that you came up with in front of them. What types of food should they, gravitate when they are at the mall?
Well, it's really tough because there are a lot of calorie and sodium bombs at the mall, and it's tough, and you get that enticing waft of the cinnamon buns, right? Or the
Is
big.
it ever good to eat those?
Well, it might be good for your soul, but it's never really good for your stomach. Yeah, it's not good. But and I think a lot of people think, I'm just not going to eat, and then they become ravenous. And when you're ravenous, that's when you're not going to make any good decisions. So when you start to get a little bit hungry, go and get a snack, and also stay hydrated. That's one thing that I highly recommend to people because, you're walking up and down the mall and you sort of don't think that it's exercise, but it is. You're schlepping a lot of bags. Sometimes you're carrying a heavy coat. Sometimes you're overheated. So it is really important to stay hydrated. And also sometimes you can mistake dehydration for hunger. So make sure to bring a water bottle with you. One of those great refillable aluminum ones is good. But as far as what to look for something that has fiber in it. So go for some veggies. They also provide more hydration. So that's going to help you feel good while you're doing your shopping and looking for those bargains.
Mm-hmm. And what are the foods that you should never eat at the mall besides those cinnamon buns?
Well, I'm not going to name names, but let's go for anything fried, because not only is it going to be extremely calorie filled, but it's probably not going to make you feel very good. And certainly if you're looking for anything for yourself, you're probably not going to want to squeeze into any dresses after eating any onion rings or fries or anything like that.
Yeah. And I mean, you were saying, when you're at the mall, you're walking around, maybe you're trying on clothes and stuff. I mean, are you burning a lot of calories, more than you would normally?
Well, it's not that it burns that many calories, but if you're out for 3 or 4 hours and you're trekking from one end of the mall to the other, or in this case in New York, one side of Fifth Avenue to the other, you can be burning hundreds of calories. So, put on the good walking shoes, make sure you're not wearing the high heels, and you can get some good exercise.
Great. And so when you go to the mall, where do you eat?
Oh, well, don't put me on the spot here. But, for me, like we were saying earlier, probably something like that Starbucks artisan plate, that would be the perfect thing for me. And maybe I might go for one of their coffee drinks as well, just to keep me going.
I have to say the Subway Veggie Delight is a great sandwich. I don't know if you talked about it, the veggie
That's
sandwich
on our
at Subway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and great to point out. I think that also another thing that I mentioned on air is that a lot of us around the holidays aren't getting enough veggies because we're going to parties and we're filling up on other things, all the seasonal goods, the cakes and the cookies and the candies, and and then when we're home, we're not really we don't have a lot of time to cook because everybody's time crunch and you're trying to fit things in. So wherever you can get those veggies, like on that Veggie Delight sandwich, or there's a great Uno Chicago Grill pizza. It's eggplant and spinach and tomatoes and feta on a multigrain crust, and it's less than 300 calories for a third of the pizza. So you want to, try to get those veggies in wherever you can.
Yeah, and you can get it on pizza.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
Great. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Are there any other tips that you want to tell us about?
Well, I would just say, again, hydration is key during the winter. A lot of times, in the summer, we're sweating and we think about staying hydrated. In the winter, not so much. But when you're out in that cold air, you're actually losing a lot of moisture. So drink up.
Stay hydrated. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Frances.
Those are some great tips, Frances.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.